Hello, everyone. I am Chad Swan-Badgero. I'm the artistic director for Peppermint Creek Theater Company, and I'm here with Matt Eldred. Matt, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Matt Eldred. I'm a board member at Peppermint Creek Theater Company, proud board member at Peppermint Creek Theater Company, and I'm directing Holocaust Cantata songs from the camps.
Great. Thank you, Matt. And this is just going to be a brief sort of introduction to the show to sort of let you as audience members know what to expect and sort of give you a little bit of some short, small insight into what this work is about. So, Matt, that's our first question. You've been aware of this show for a long, long time, but can you tell audiences just sort of briefly what's the overview and what's the show about?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of famous or infamous instances or examples of music from Holocaust camps, the most notable being Paradise Ghetto. But most of these works were things that were written by trained Jewish musicians for Nazis and performed under duress, right? And so where Holocaust Cantata comes from was a gentleman named Alexander Kulsiewicz, who in the immediate period after World War II, after the liberation of the camps, uh, committed himself to trying to find out or to try and keep alive the music that was actually sung in the camps or performed in the camps, almost like like spirituals or folk songs. What did people sing in the lodge houses at night to keep up morale? What did women sing to their children? And so he traveled throughout Poland, doing interviews and taking accounts from survivors. And in the end, collected over 800 pages of interviews, music, notes, archives, and donated it to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. And the composer and librettist, Donald McCullough and Denny Clark, went through this archive in DC and picked and chose from it. And what you have in Holocaust Cantata Songs from the Camps is a tiny excerpt of that collection of music that was sung in the camps, stories from people who were in the camps, who some survived, some didn't. And it's a real living, breathing account of people who were there.
Wow, what a tremendous snapshot this show must be about a really sort of major time in our country's history. Thank you for that description. So I know I think I can lovingly say that you are a musical theater nerd. If that's fair to say.
Yeah, sure.
And so what was that with that lens on, what is it that originally drew you to this show to want to bring it to the stage? You brought this originally to Peppermint Creek. What is it about the show that entices you, excites you? And maybe there's a small bridge also to talk about how might that also be interesting for audiences to want to watch?
Absolutely. So beyond just being a musical theater nerd, Chad, I'm also a just music nerd.
Right, that's more fair.
And and in the early 2000s, in my peak nerddom, I used to, back when people used to do this, I used to just spend time in the library checking out CDs and listening to them. And one of
Yes,
the
you're definitely
CDs,
aging yourself.
yes, okay, exactly.
There it is.
So I won't get into what a CD is, but
Okay, good.
I found a CD of the Kennedy Center premiere of Holocaust Cantata, 20 years ago,
Okay.
and yeah, at least 20 years ago when I first listened to it. And I became obsessed with it. I was like, this is so wonderful. I don't know why people aren't performing this. Why aren't choirs performing this? Why aren't theaters performing this? And so I've been like preaching the word of Holocaust Cantata ever since then. But what brought it fresh to me was there was an article in USA Today late last year that noted that a large percentage, a majority of millennials and Generation Z, well, I guess teenagers and young adults, have little to no knowledge of the Holocaust, that 6 million Jews died. and also that 10% of those surveyed had no problem or even specifically endorsed Nazi or neo-Nazi beliefs, or what could
Mm.
be reasonably affiliated with neo-Nazi beliefs. And if you were to extrapolate that out to a wider population, you're talking millions of people. And so this lack of knowledge, as well as kind of the aggressive spread of some of this, of some of these thoughts that once maybe thought dead or in the background decades ago, brought Holocaust Cantata back to my mind. Is
Hmm.
anything I thought that we could do, and this is a really intimate personal piece, to connect people back to this thing that happened and is important and that we must remember, I thought was really important. And so that's when, it was like, we have to do this. I think that, and I thought that it was perfect for our medium.
Great, great, thank you. Yeah, and certainly Peppermint Creek is lucky that you brought it to us, that we can present it for a sort of global audience that can watch it on our YouTube channel during April, during and close to Holocaust Remembrance Week. So thank you for that. So my last question, Matt, for you is, so many directors, when they fall in love with a piece, you have an idea of what it is when you first find it. And then after you've worked through the process of actually bringing it to audiences, the work takes on a different meaning, or maybe you found new things you didn't expect, or things that surprised you through the process of actually creating that piece. What is one of those things that perhaps you discovered through the process of bringing this work to the public?
Yeah, I found myself, great question, by the way. I found myself um, no longer able to disassociate myself from the wider work. I've loved this music and these words for so long that I'd gotten to the point where it was like, Holocaust Cantata is great on a meta level, but having the opportunity to work with some of these wonderful actors and singers really personalized it to me, because I think I'd stopped viewing the people, the victims of the Holocaust, as to quote one of the movements, as brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, children, friends. And there's one reading in particular where they talk about how someone recalls when they stole some alcohol in the camps, and had one night where in their lodge house everyone got drunk, and how amazing it was to get drunk.
Hmm.
And it was in it. It just really, it first made me smile, and then it was just like so devastating, because you know I just on my birthday the other day, I was drinking with friends, and you take these things so casually, right? These moments so
Hmm.
casually, and the way that it kind of contemporized it, made it contemporaneous. I didn't expect it, and certain things that I always thought were just maybe a throwaway, or oh, I don't really connect to that. I think in light of current events, and also just with my own life, I found it really intimate and touching in a way that I hadn't before.
Hmm. Great. Great. Well, we can only hope then that audiences that will view this work will also have that same experience, and see this time in our history in a new way, and for a new time. So thank you, Matt, for taking this time to just chat with us a little bit more about Holocaust Cantata, songs from the camp. We hope that you as an audience will appreciate this work. It'll be available on Peppermint Creek's YouTube channel, and you can find more information on our website about how to access this work, and also bring it perhaps to your organization or school if you'd like to use this piece as an educational tool as well. You can find that information on our website at peppermintcreek.org. Thanks again, Matt, for being here today, and thank you
Thank you.
everyone for watching. Please have a great day.